to discovering more of my soul self. Thank you for tuning into my channel. My name is Guat K, your evolutionary astrologer, supporting you in your personal journey of your heart, your self-discovery of your soul identity. It has been my own journey, and therefore, I'm deeply passionate to talk to you about this topic, into the unknown, and pointing you to the rising sign in your birth chart. So in my first video recently, I spoke about your rising sign, your path that opens up to discovering more about who you can be. It is something new that you are discovering for the first time. So your rising sign in your birth chart is the area that you are, something new is arising in you. So it's new, it's challenging, and it's something that you have not done before. So your baby step. So your rising sign represents your baby step. It's like a baby learning to walk for the first time. So the baby may fall down. The baby will not see himself as a failure. Falling down is part and parcel of learning to walk. And when the baby learns to eat for the first time, it's very messy. And this is also part of self-discovery. How do I eat properly? It is a journey of self-discovery to see ourselves stepping into a new path and growing. And the joy of seeing baby grow, climbing, falling, making a mess, right, is part of our internal relationship with ourselves. So the more we listen to what is it that is inviting you to step into the unknown, the more we listen to it, the more we respond to it, we start to develop a communion with ourselves. More importantly, is your direct experience with the inner relationship with yourself. So my own journey has shown me that if I take the first step into the unknown, if I heed and listen to what is calling to me, I am developing the inner relationship with my soul self, my soul true north. This was discovered through my life journey. And when I listen to it, when I respond to it, the more it speaks to me, the more I am able to learn how to listen to myself. The more I listen about, is this my intuition? Is this my instinct, my habitual instinct? What action is right and what action is not right? So I learn from my own action, which action is the right action and what is my next step. I call the rising sign your next step. For a long time in my life, one of my personal practice I would like to share with you is that I will hold my hand in my heart before I sleep, and I will ask myself, what's my next step? What is my next step? Because I only need to know my next step to discovering more of my soul self. I will go through each of the rising sign, and I will also share one of the shadow quality for each of the rising sign. I will be introducing Aries to Pisces rising sign. So rising sign represent stepping into the unknown, stepping into a new territory, and through this you are discovering more about yourself. It's a new beginning for you, and you're taking baby steps. So something have ended. Your old identity has ended. The old situation you were in has ended. You are in a turning point in your life. You're at the crossroads. Or internally, you feel that there is an internal conflict, internal crisis. It can also be the external situation that force you to change. Okay, what if you have an Aries rising? You feel drawn towards something that feels passionate about, but you have not done it before, so you are not very sure. So Aries rising, you are meant to consistently stepping into new and doing things which are fresh and new for you. So the shadow side is that you may prefer to stay in the comfort zone of doing the things that you already know. For Taurus rising, you are discovering yourself through becoming more self-sufficient. And the shadow side is that you may become dependent on others, or others may become overly dependent on you, and this can cause crisis or non-fulfillment in your relationships. For Gemini rising, your next one step to discover yourself more deeply is through the lens of learning. So like you are now stepping into a foreign land, everything is new for you. What is this? How do I do this? How to speak this? What are you drawn towards to learn that interests you? So for Gemini rising, what can hold you back is that you may stop yourself from learning because learning can be very stressful. You need to ask a lot of questions and you need to be humble in order to learn. What about Cancer rising? So Cancer rising, your next step towards self-discovery is to connect to your emotions and becoming self-reliant emotionally. So you may not find that people understand you emotionally, or they can be there emotionally to nurture you. And this can be a crisis because your self-discovery is towards becoming emotionally self-reliant. What about Leo rising? If your rising sign is Leo, your next step towards self-discovery is through expressing from your heart. There's a deep desire to be seen for who you are, the authentic self. The shadow side is that you may tend to hide and not fully express your true nature and wear a different persona from your true self. And in order to feel accepted by others, and that you may lose in touch with the core of how you really feel, what you really want to express. So instead of expressing to impress, where you may lose in touch with who you are internally because you put up a persona in order to impress. So that would be the shadow side. For Virgo rising, you are stepping into more clarity. And this is done through analyzing the situation, solving problems, finding solutions. Through self-improvement, how can I improve in this area of my life? That is a constant internal crisis. And learning humility through the experiences, purifying yourself to be the instrument for service. And it is through self-improvement you become competent to be of service to your soul self. However, a shadow side is that too much self-analyzing can lead to feeling that you are not perfect. Libra rising, you are learning about yourself through interaction. The social interaction with different types of people is helping you to discover more of your own needs and finding your own inner balance. And how do you interact and socialize with different people who may have different needs and values from you? The shadow side is that you may lose yourself because you are wearing a social persona in order to fit in. For Scorpio rising, what is new for you is to step into intimacy. Intimacy with yourself and therefore with others. There is a fear of mistrust, betrayal, and there's a fear of intimacy and relationships because of past experiences. For Sagittarius rising, your next step towards self-discovery is stepping into a new horizon that you intuitively feel you want to explore. And that can be any new experiences. And your experiences leads you to open up your mind to new perspectives, new worldview, and new belief system. For Capricorn rising, you are stepping into establishing yourself in the world out there in order to discover more of who you can be. So what is an expertise that you are developing in yourself? And it's through structured discipline that you are step by step becoming more of who you can be. There could be a fear of responsibility and commitment. So for Aquarius rising, you are stepping into your own uniqueness in order to discover yourself. You don't want to be fitted into a box that is too constrained of what traditions and the norms expect you to do, that you don't feel that is you at all. So you may have fear of changing patterns because that means that you may have to rock the boat, in the relationships and the people around you. For Pisces rising, you are discovering yourself through building the dream in the physical plane. So what is it that you feel meaningful, you feel so spirited about, that you want to manifest in the physical plane? What can be the downside is that you may be lost in a fantasy rather than making your dream into a reality. I hope you enjoy this series of Aries to Pisces rising sign. And for each of the rising sign, what is it that is calling you to step into the unknown? And this could be very new and uncomfortable for you because it's your baby step for your personal soul growth. And all of us are different. We have different timelines. We have different skills. We come with different aptitudes and our own fear and our emotional barrier that is unique to us. So this is an overall introduction to the rising sign, and I hope that it supports you in your personal self-reflection. I do welcome your comments about your rising sign and the challenges that you may be facing. Thank you so much for listening to my channel, and I appreciate